Let me start with a story about my friend who's in his 50s. We'll call him Steve. And Steve had a heart attack last year. Fortunately, he was rushed to the hospital and the doctors saved his life. Now, this event completely changed his outlook on his own health. He started reading up on LDL cholesterol, and he even got a personal trainer. He went to his doctors and he told them about measuring his lipid levels, which, by the way, the doctors hadn't suggested until he did his online research. Today, Steve has actually gotten his cholesterol under control thanks to changes in diet and exercise and a use of statins. So I lead a team of over 1,000 experts around the world dedicated to studying consumer behavior. And we just completed a study of over 9,000 people in 19 countries that we released for the St. Moritz Longevity Forum. And what we find is that Steve's story is emblematic. Steve's story is emblematic of what I call the longevity paradox. What's the paradox? Well, it's simple. We don't think about longevity until we are old, or sick, or both. Now, while I spend a lot of my time thinking about consumer behavior, my true passion is delving into what it takes to shape it and change it. And I've been geeking out about this for years, so much so that I even wrote a book on it called Personalized, and you can check it out here at the forum. But as we look at that, as we look at what it takes to change behavior, we have to start first by understanding it, to delve into what we do and why we do it. So show of hands here, who is taking concrete steps to manage their healthy aging in this audience? Okay, most of you. Not surprising. A room full of Longevity Forum attendees unfortunately is not representative of the global population. So let's get real. Let's dive into what is the current state of longevity, because the truth is stark. Let's look at the numbers.
Only a third of people say they're trying to take some action to promote healthy aging. And the numbers are even lower for those that are young and healthy. Let's face it, we don't think about longevity until it's too late. Only 1.5% of people say they're doing the 8 things that studies have shown can add 24 extra years of life, which include physical activity, not smoking, and good sleep, but also making social connections. Paradoxically, young people are engaged in healthy behaviors the most, like exercising regularly, drinking at least 8 glasses of water daily, and practicing mindfulness or meditation. But those same individuals also tend to have the most vices, like doom scrolling on social media, drinking sugary drinks, and vaping. Consumers are overwhelmed by information about longevity given channel fragmentation. Doctors and friends and family are still important sources, but digital channels, especially podcasts, are also shaping perceptions. There is a tremendous variation in which channels are important for each individual, depending on their engagement level, the nature of the interventions they are seeking, as well as their location. Geographic differences include the rise of longevity clinics, especially in places like the Middle East, China, and Switzerland, while wearables, apps, and AI solutions related to healthy aging are seeing wide adoption in places like India, Southeast Asia, Germany, Switzerland, and the Middle East. Finally, the data underscores a universal opportunity for more education around healthy aging, in particular as it relates to diet, with many young people incorrectly considering trans fats and ultra-processed foods as a healthy part of their diet.
Okay, we have a lot of work to do. And the truth is that we're in very different places when it comes to our health. Our financial situation, where we live, how old we are, our health status, our doctors, our friends, and what they say, and even what our podcasters say, this is a key conclusion in a study, really shapes our behavior. But most people commonly say that they are simply overwhelmed, and that is no way to change behavior. Instead, we need to make people feel empowered. So how do we do that? Well, we need to meet people where they are on what I call the longevity engagement ladder. So in our study, the data clearly shows that people move along a 5-step ladder when it comes to their engagement level as it relates to healthy aging. And I want to bring to you some of the comments we heard and some of the data we saw in the study at each step of that ladder. So I've enlisted the help, because we live in the age of AI, as I'll explain after the video, of some helpful AI avatars to bring to life each of these personas that we see at every step of the ladder, to protect the privacy of the individuals that said some of these comments, and to honestly share what they think. Let's take a look.
Longevity is an invention for the wealthy to spend money on, not me. I'm healthy and I don't need any medical support.
I am curious about healthy aging, but I don't have time to figure out where to begin. I have tried a few things, but always end up giving up.
Longevity is important, and I am experimenting with it, but it's hard to focus when every podcast I listen to is telling me to try something new.
I prioritize healthy aging in my everyday life and seek professional support to do the right things. It's time, and I need it for me and my family.
Habits I built in my life are to serve my ultimate goal, healthy aging. I believe the latest scientific advancements are 100% worth the investment.
So healthy aging is hard, and we're going to delve more into these personas, and if you want to learn more, come attend our breakout. Iana back there is leading a deep dive tomorrow, right before cocktails, where you can really explore each of these personas and all the data we have about them. But, it's not surprising, because healthy aging actually takes decisions every day. And not only that, we have to even find the right information to know what to do in the first place. So it's not surprising that, as you saw in the video, only 12% of people classify themselves as holistic pioneers, meaning they live a longevity lifestyle. And when we look at the actual daily behavioral data, only 1.5% of them truly live it. So how do we make progress? Well, I think we have to realize that our health is deeply personal, but our healthcare system is anything but personalized. Look, in order to make progress here, we have to think about our healthcare providers, who are the linchpins of the healthcare system. And I think this must continue to stay the same way. But today, doctors are overworked. They simply don't have time to focus on prevention. Wait times for appointments and procedures are only getting longer. So I think in the future age of AI, there are new systems of support that can emerge to complement them, not to replace them, but to unlock the full potential of both individuals and the healthcare providers who support them. And this is already happening today. AI-powered assistants are providing tools to change complete areas of health. For example, Sondermind is a mental health app that measures 12 different brain functions and gives you practical advice, as well as connects you to the right therapist. Overwhelm in Australia is a health ally specifically for women, collects users' data, and acts as a personal concierge. Another whole class of tools that's emerging is diagnostics that provide real-time data and insights into our health at low cost. So Vitract, for example, is a low-cost gut microbiome analytics tool. Signos measures glucose continuously at an affordable cost. And wearables like Aura and others complete the suite of data gathering tools. But what will we do with all of this data? Well, we're at a crossroads, and I think the jury's still out on how this is going to go. Interestingly, the top growing use of ChatGPT last year was mental health queries. And people asked questions that they didn't feel comfortable asking their own therapist. Let's be honest, there's a lot that can go wrong here. So this begs the question, is AI-assisted personalized care going to empower individuals, and will we realize the full potential of this technology? Or will these new tools just create more confusion, or worse? Well, I think one key answer to solving the longevity paradox is human-centric design. Take Noom, for example, which is a weight management and health app that uses AI and gamification to create nudges to improve your diet, exercise, and mindfulness. It also offers a human coach additional support option. And the 40% of users that use the full spectrum of support, including the human coach, see the best results. Not only that, Noom is used primarily by younger people, making sure that they have tools to start their longevity journey earlier. I think a challenge for us is to create more tools like this that combine the power of humans and AI to deliver personalized care. And we need to put these tools into the hands of people like Steve, but in their 20s and 30s, not waiting until their 50s. Look, I don't pretend to have all the answers, and I think this is only one of them. But if these kinds of tools can present one step to getting a few people started earlier in their journey, that's meaningful. I want to close with this. The longevity paradox is real, and the data is eye-opening. You can check all of it out in the study. So let's dive in over the next 3 days, and let's work together to come up with more ideas like this, and most importantly, turn them into action to resolve the longevity paradox. Thank you.